In the lecture demo video, we do spend quite a bit of time on break and continue. So these are additional examples that you can look at. And for this one, this is another one where it's going to take a look at odd and even numbers. And it is only going to print out odd numbers. And you can see it's adding. So it's kind of keeping track of how many odd numbers it has printed. When it has reached 10 or more odd numbers, it breaks out of the loop. Okay, so it's kind of set up to run 100 times. And it could run 100 times if you entered 90 some even numbers, but it will stop when it has processed 10 odd numbers. And that's what this is looking at. And then it's going to break. So it completely break out of the loop. This program prints numbers 0 through 19. However, it is skipping printing out specific numbers. And what we're doing for it to skip the numbers is we are using continue. So we've got our counter here that we are calling I. We set it to 0. I'm going to do it as long as I is less than 20. But when I is a 4, 8, 12, or 16, you can see we have a continue. So it is not writing the value out. It is just going back up here and adding 1 to I. Okay, and so if you look at the output, you will notice that 4, 8, 12, and 16 are not printed out. And here is another little example. And again, they are forced to enter the price of one item, even though we are allowing them to specify how many items they want to buy. So we're assuming that they want to buy at least one. Here is a little example that is utilizing a break. So here, this is a do while, so they're going to go in and it's going to process at least once. We are retrieving 2 random numbers between 1 and 50. We're calculating a correct answer. We're adding them together. We're asking the user for the answer. And then we get into a wrong answer while loop. And we are calculating how many wrong answers they've entered. And if they enter more than 10, we're telling them to see tutoring. We are setting practice, which is what they're checking down here. We're setting it to N, and we are going to break. So at this point, it's going to break out of the structure. We are done. They need to see tutoring. Okay, and so if they aren't at 10, then we're going to prompt them for the correct answer and read it in. And assuming that they get the right answer before they get 10 wrong, practice is not going to be set to N. Okay, so then do you want more practice? Yes, to continue. Any key to stop. We read that in, and then it makes the check down here to see if yes was selected. And then we come through here again. So the only place where it's really getting set to N is here. If they got too many wrong answers. Okay, or here they could conceivably type an N, but that would mean they want to stop. Okay, so as long as it's not a Y, then they're going to stop. So here we're forcing the N, and here they can basically key anything in as long as it's, not a Y. If they do a Y, they're going to go through another time. Okay, and what the break does here is it gets out of this loop and it comes down here to process. And because they got more than 10 wrong answers, practice is going to be N. Okay, so we are at this point going to be done.